Hello and welcome to this week's level editor update. I am here to show off the new trial creator feature. So if you click on this button here, it's in the save tab for now. It'll bring up a trial editor menu. There you can do a new trial, you can edit a trial, and you can delete a trial. So this is the missions or trials in the game. So first of all, you'll be brought to this menu. If you click new trial, you can type in the name that you want. We're just going to use trial name for now. Leave it as default. You can change the amount of points that are assigned to the trial itself for completing it. Or you can type it in. This option here, the reset on lost life, this is when you lose the ball. Does the trial restart from scratch and you got to start from the beginning, or can you just keep doing it and it doesn't matter if you lose? This is number of times. How many times do you have to interact with the first mechanic, whatever that mechanic or object is for the trial? So let's show it off here. Trial type so far is none. Mechanics are 0. So we're going to assign a mechanic. So I'm going to click on the bumper. So now that I've selected a bumper, I won't be able to select anything else. I can only do bumpers for part 1. I can't select the same bumper because obviously it's already assigned to it. So, but I can click on this bumper as well, and it's showing me they're blue. That means that they are assigned to this trial. So there's 2 here, just indicates that I have 2 different objects that are part of this trial, and they're going to be of the type bumper. So, and this again is the number of times you have to interact with those bumpers. So if you set it to say 10, that means I have to hit 10 bumpers for part 1 of the mission, and it's going to be only the bumpers that are assigned to the mission. A bumper can't be assigned to multiple missions, and yeah. And then you can write a description. This is what's going to be on the screen. So I'm going to just type hit bumpers. And once you hit the bumper, it'll pop up on the screen. It'll tell you how many times you got to hit it left. So this is going to be the animation that pops up on the screen once you complete that part. So just preview a couple. There you go. Completion sounds. This is going to be the sound that you get once you complete the mission. Sorry, the mission part. And these are all just taken from different tables and stuff from in the game. You don't need to own the DLC to get access to these sorts of things. So if you select the reward type, this is just going to be the different types of options that you can get. Multiplier, score multiplier, lifesaver, extra life, multi-ball, or a random reward from the options above. You can also do no rewards for completing the mission, and then it's just strictly just going to give you the points. So if you do multiplier, there you go. Just expect lifesaver. There's a drop down that'll come up, and then you can set the amount of time that you want for the lifesaver to be active. Extra life, this is an extra ball, and multi-ball. And then for multi-ball, you can select the number of balls between 1 to 3. Yeah, and then if you hit 2-part mission, it's going to be the exact same thing, except now you can add a second part to the mission. So you can't select the bumpers because they're already assigned to part 1, but what you can do is you can select a new option. So you select that and it knows it's a drop target, and then you can hit another one, confirm, and there's going to be all these options here, and it's going to be the exact same thing as you would expect, or the exact same behavior as part 1. Okay, and now we're just going to test it out. As you can see, I hit the bumper and it actually counted it. So you watch the screen. Hit bumpers, goes to 8. Beautiful. Hit bumpers to 7. 6. Okay, and now you can see we're going to go back in here and we're going to edit the trial. You can bring up the old trial that we just made. You can see that, yeah, here it is. So, something important to note. When you're assigning the mechanics, if you hit the assign part 2 mechanics, it's going to remove all the options from part 2. So, anything that you had previously selected are now deselected and you have to reassign them. If you want to use the same drop targets and add more, you have to start from scratch, just hit them again. One other thing to note is going to be the different types of mechanics. So target type for drop targets, right now it's repeatable. There's also no order and ordered. So if it's repeatable, that means the targets will just keep popping up every single time you hit them. They'll go down and then they'll pop back up. No order means that you have to hit every single target once. And once you hit it, they will not pop up until the next one comes back. And then there's ordered, which means you have to hit them in an actual specific order. That doesn't work right now. I'm going to remove that for the time being. Something else to note, if you reassign part 1, the objects in part 1, it's going to deselect all the objects in part 2 as well. Because you're reassigning the first part of the mission, yeah, it removes everything entirely. So now I can make the drop targets to be part 1 of the mission instead of part 2. And then here you want to go, oh, that's a visual bug. I'm gonna have to fix that. So let's just, 2-part mission. So here, and lastly, as you would expect, there is a delete trial option. So you can click on that and you just delete any trials. And all the objects that were assigned to that trial are no longer assigned to the trial. They're no longer assigned to a trial. Something that I mentioned before, keep in mind, if an object is assigned to a trial, it can only be assigned to one trial. It can't be assigned to multiple. LEDs will be something that comes down later, or comes around later. I'm gonna add a way to tie LEDs to specific missions. One other thing to note is when you create a new trial on a table that has toys, it will randomly retrieve the toys and assign those toys to that mission. You cannot select your own toys to play animations from, but it will at least play some toy animations. That's basically how it works. I will work on doing some more documentation for the level editor. I have some basic stuff done. I have a lot more documentation for the other features in the games. I'll link to that. But yeah, as of right now, that is something that is a work in progress. So if there's something you want clarification on, I'm more than happy to explain or write it up. Please tell me about any bugs that you find. I am working to fix them. This is a very complicated feature and I'm doing my best. It's taken a much longer than I anticipated and I've been facing some health issues, but yeah, things seem to be on the up and up as of right now, and just yeah, bear with me. Once this gets done, my next goal would be Steam Workshop, hopefully. So yeah, fingers crossed.